es español.
Sí, totalmente.
Sí.
I have to see which name this has. Landscape.
Yeah.
You will find this is near from Murcia.
Uh-huh.
You know, Murcia was on the other side of this top here, and suddenly you climb up the hill and you see something like that.
Yeah.
And this is an eremita. In Spanish, it's named eremita, but I have really to check which name exactly it is. But I promise you, I will check it, find it out, and send you. Okay, the place was this and this. Okay?
Yeah. I keep you to your promise.
Okay.
Jacques, I'd like to ask you something.
Well.
Because I have been training you in the social panorama many times.
Yes.
And you were moving to Spain, and you are setting up the social panorama in the Spanish-speaking world.
Yeah.
And I like that a lot. So I think this is great.
Yeah.
And what did you do for that?
What I did then was at first make a search in the net, and I found out that you have an email address, and I wrote you. I sent you an email.
I remember.
And I was so lucky. I never did mind that Lucas, who didn't know who I am, and so would even give me an answer. So my surprise was very, very great when a few days after I got the answer. It was really crazy for me, and of course I was absolutely happy. And my problem at that time was I couldn't make the training with you in Germany, which would have been much better for me because I was living in Germany, and make only maybe half-day trip to Dresden, but it wasn't possible because I had another training at that same time.
Yeah.
So I asked you, I remember, what are the other possibilities? And you named Tokyo and Estoril.
And how did you come to choose Estoril?
So, well, it was in the neighborhood, I can say, from the perspective of Germany. Much closer than Tokyo, and of course also a little bit cheaper than Tokyo, I guess. So I managed it to make my inscription in Estoril, where I met then. Well, you introduced me, Jose. You told me that I should write Jose Figueiras, and well, here we are now. But what did I do after that? Well,
I think that
my first proposal to you was, even though I was not trained already, was to bring it to the Spanish world, because I asked you, could it be possible that in Spanish there is nothing with social panorama, that nobody noticed you in this world, in this part of the world? And you said yes, it's a fact. And so I made this proposal, and from that point on, the journey began. The first matter was to translate the social panorama book into Spanish. I had already the German version, but you gave me also the English one, and so I worked with both. And a few months later the book was translated. I remember I visited you in your home, and we discussed about this not printed but already translated book, and there we made this first interview. It was very nice for me, also absolutely improvised. I didn't think that you would do it at that moment, so I was a little bit surprised. But it was nice to have this experience, and from that point on I continued working,
translating the handouts,
making my own flip charts in Spanish, which are Most of them are copy with my own hand made, but mostly a copy or based on your pictures.
Yeah, and you get your
But
own.
With the time,
yeah.
with the time, it was a nice experience too. With the time, I found out, okay, I'm missing a picture for this concept.
Yeah.
For example, for the personifications, I
Yeah.
had no one,
Yeah.
so I made my own one.
Yeah.
No,
Mhm.
so there are a few pictures only at the moment, but it's growing constantly. And with the time, I guess I will finally do most of the pictures again for me
Yeah, and what
and
the
for the Spanish people.
and what excited me most was when you started to translate mental space psychology, so my recent book, and then
Yeah.
also mental spatial diagnosis. So
Yeah.
now you have updated the Spanish world with the current state of the art in mental space.
Yeah, in a very fast way, and I'm also proud of it because, you know, of course you wrote it in English, and English is of course today a very worldwide expanded language, and it is supposed that everyone can read it. However, the Spanish speaking world is also very huge. And in the same way, I was astonished that nobody had nothing to read in Spanish of this great model, which I found it's really a great model. It goes very deep into the psyche of the human being. I said, okay, then I have a new
Challenge.
a new challenge. Oh, thank you very much. This is good. He can speak German, so he can help me to speak in English.
Yeah, so
That's fine.
we had never any problem to communicate.
No, really not. So then my new goal was, okay, Spanish should be the first language to have a translation from the new book of you, mental space psychology, and I managed to do it, and you brought it out last year, at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And I brought it out, half year later, maybe something
Which was
like
a
that.
hell of a job.
It was, I was lucky. I had the time to do it too.
Yeah.
That's what life also offers
I
sometimes.
think that there's a great advantage in you being an engineer, because the type of mechanical psychology that's in there, a lot of psychologists, they are not so open for these type of thinking. So it's too logical or too mechanistic. But I think this is exactly the power of the social panorama, that it's opens views on the human mind that are ruled by mechanisms, you could say.
Yes, of course, indeed. For me, it was not a problem to understand it really fast, because I myself come from I studied informatics and the system theory. This was my learning at the university. So for me, many things were very, very clear from the beginning on, because I only had to change my system view on different things. Adapted to the human being. No?
Yeah, and my experience is that when I explain the social panorama at breakfast or in a hotel or something in between, and I express it with gestures. So when I say, well, we create this image of this landscape of people around us, and that's already happening from maybe early childhood on, and that decides how our relationships are. So when I put somebody here, then that makes a certain type of relationship, and when that's not the preferred type of relationship, I need to do something about it. I need to move this person. When I tell it like this, with these gestures, people are but when you have to write it down, then it comes to, well, we have this three-dimensional area of representations of humans or social entities around us, and some people and I think you have also this ability to make it simple.
Yes, I find it simple myself. So, and I like it very much to when I learn something which I find it's a great thing. It's good. It's absolutely helpful for many people and many professionals that are struggling with their clients and don't know what should I do now, because they are lacking of this knowledge, what I most like to do is to give this knowledge to the other people too, like you did with me. I do it in the same way with the other people.
Yeah.
Because I find if there is a good tool, why not to spread it?
Yeah, so it's for instance, the other day I was talking to a person who had a lot of overweight, and then he said, yeah, that started when my partner died, and so then other people would not come that easy to the question. So feel the missing. So, and where is your partner located? And then he could say, yeah, here. And so, and then I said, yeah, that's a problematic position for most people, because when it's so close, it takes a lot of attention. Yeah, and then he continued, but the issue is that I then created a very good relationship with her best friend, so it was over there, and I must say that it's a better relationship than I had with my deceased wife, and I feel guilty about that, and that's the reason that I cannot take her away from here, because I think I need to honor her, or I cannot forget her, and so and it took only two pieces of bread and a cup of coffee, and we were at the heart of the issue, and so and then we knew we need to deal with the beliefs that keep that in place, or the promise or the idea of loyalty to his ex-wife that he maintains, that blocks him from taking this away and even have an even better relationship with his new wife.
Yeah, and but I also have to recognize these are the same experiences I am doing with people working on that level. To know NLP is really important, to know some structures we use also in this model. But important is to know some things from NLP, like the pacing, like the to keep a process in running, and not to get out of that process. But when you put on top, or you fulfill it with these new concepts about the personifications, about the location, the importance of this submodality at the end, then the world changed in a dramatic way, much more than with the, I would say, old tools of NLP. They are really good, but this gives it's like the in German we would say die Kirsche auf dem Kuchen. This is well the
sixth gear.
Yeah, the sixth gear, or this special thing above of the cake, which makes it very, very I want to have it like that. No?
Well, I agree fully with you that when people have a background that there are already good therapists or coaches, and so especially when they have an NLP type of background or are hypnotherapist, that they can easily understand and then apply it and then see, oh yeah, now my work goes much more to the point. So often also where you feel a little bit powerless with certain types of issues, like in recent years with depression or certain traumas, that you then, okay, now I have a tool and I can go directly for what needs to be changed.
Yes, that's right. And it's amazing to see how it works at the end. No? But also it's real that people in NLP, when they read about this, they are not aware enough to see which is the real nuclear difference. And there is really a difference. It's not only the matter of positions and other things we named now. because all these tools can put together
Mhm.
and be part of.
Yeah.
Because they are also working. For example, when we make a reimprinting and we walk along a line, well, we are making spatial therapy
Yeah.
in some way. No? But if you put it together then with the personalities and the structure of the me, of the I,
Mhm.
which also amazing to see how deep it works and how fast it works, only to work with the self-image. It's amazing. I had such cases that until today I'm really astonished how it can last so long.
Yeah, well, I'm a social panorama skeptic myself, so I have two things that I'm skeptical about. One is that I cannot believe that I developed it, and the second is that when I use it, I still cannot believe that it's often so effective. I
had such a case when I was in Montevideo.
Uh-huh.
There was a young guy came the last day. We were few hours before taking our plane, and he had some not so fine ideas. He was thinking about killing himself and things like that. And I said, oh, what can I do now? Why? Because for me it's imperative to help somebody if he's in such a moment.
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
I knew when I leave now, maybe he doesn't do it at the end, but it's a risk.
Yeah,
no?
you can. So this is my business card, but
So
maybe that's not enough.
That's not enough. So I said, okay, I do it simply. And I worked only with the self-image.
Uh-huh.
Yeah? And his problem was that his self-image was put a little bit on the side and was a little bit short.
So probably negative.
And a little bit negative with negative content. But to work with the content, it was too less time. I worked with him only 10-15 minutes.
Mhm.
Yeah? And then I made it so that I helped him to put his self-image in front, 2-3 meters in front of him, and make it really brilliant. And told him, okay, this is on your own level, and yet make it a little bit farther away, but make it very tall. So, and he began to cry. And I asked him, why are you crying now? Did I say something what is wrong with you? And he told me, no, I'm absolutely, it's emotionally, I can't believe that I can feel so good. Yeah. And from that point on, this guy continued working, continued studying. He will become an engineer today. So I'm really happy with that, and these were only 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, so, and Jacques, how can we close this interview or this talk? Because we can go on for ages, I think, because we're both enthusiastic about it.
Yes, I see. I would suggest we made here in this really nice area. I suggest now to go to Murcia.
Yeah.
And to see now a more crowdy part of this world.
Yeah. Where there are social objects.
Which are really social objects of flesh and bones, no? Or bones and flesh and so on.
Not only personifications.
Not only personifications. And to meet some interesting people.
Good.
I want you to introduce some people who helped me also to reach this in Spain, and to have already a new project in Ecuador running, which will take place in May. So this is the first great certification I will make completely without you. In Portugal, I was assisting you, so you know that as assistant I did my job, and it seems to be that the people there was also very, very, very okay with this.
But now you go solo.
But
in
now
Guatemala.
I'm doing it solo, like the workshops I already did in Spain. So, well, I would say now we have 1:45 p.m.
Good.
It's time to move and to go lunching.
Yeah, for everybody who watched this then, I hope you enjoyed it.